Good morning. So today I want to talk about patience. There's a prayer from Teresa of Avila called "Let nothing disturb you," and there's a phrase in there that says, "Patience obtains all things," and I really took that to heart. And also, I want to share with you a few passages, a few verses from Psalm 37. So, verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Verse 10. Yet a little while, and the wicked will be no more. Last one is 34. Wait for the Lord and keep to his way, and he will exalt you to possess the land. You will look on the destruction of the wicked. So, patience. I want to talk about like two parts of patience. The first one is maybe like day-to-day patience, not like give in to your emotions, and it's more like temperance, really, right? And the other type of patience, which was talked about more in the verses I just read, is patience on the promises of Christ. So the reason why I like this, I'm gonna emphasize that first, but I want to talk about the other patience, temperance first. But quickly, the reason why, like, yeah, you see, I lost my train of thought. Okay, the reason why I like this Psalm 37 so much, and lately I've been reading it so much, is because it talks about us, like righteous um, believers who are trying to follow the spiritual path to perfection and become saints. That's all of us who are serious about this. If you're watching this, you're serious about this. You want to get in that path and work hard so that you can become a saint. It's the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life. But once we enter this path and we leave sinful ways behind, we leave the wicked world, we try and detach ourselves completely from this world and attach ourselves to God, the summum bonum. Okay? So once we do that, we start to feel this temptation of jealousy towards the wicked people, the people that are not following Christ, maybe don't even know about him. They are too attached to this world, and they love all the things of this world. And so they indulge in pleasures of the flesh, and so when you see them, first of all, you think, okay, I was so much happier. That's the temptation, right? I was so much happier once when I was like this person, giving into indulgences, like eating whatever I wanted, watching whatever I wanted on the internet, watching any movie I wanted, saying whatever I wanted. Like I was really free. And so that's the lie, and that is so difficult because you start to want what the wicked has, thinking that it's so much better than what I'm pursuing, right? So that's the lie. And this psalm talks about that. The wicked shall be no more. Wait a little while. So just wait a little bit more and they will be no longer. There's another verse that compares them to towers of Lebanon, which are big, monumental, immense towers of Lebanon. Okay. So where is it? Oh, I forgot about it. It's right here. Okay, here it is. Verse 35. I have seen a wicked man, overbearing and towering like a cedar of Lebanon. Again, I passed by, and behold, he was no more. Though I sought him, he could not be found. So maybe in this world, they will seem, the wicked people will seem like they're doing so great. Like they've reached success, they've reached everything, like they're so happy, like it's the best thing. And so you want that, right? Because you're seeing all these things, and your human nature wants all of those things. Your flesh wants all those things because it's pleasure, it's immediate joy. Thomas Aquinas talks about immediate joy and joy later to come uh, in the eternal world, in heaven with God, right? And so we seek that joy in heaven, but sometimes it feels too far away, or it's too difficult to get there because the path to sainthood is so hard that you start to turn your head and see these green pastures on this world, all these great things, like beautiful things. Everything in this world is beautiful because it was created by God, but it's not the summum bonum, which means the greatest good, which is God. And so you start seeing these things, and the mistake is you start seeing them as the summum bonum. And so you, instead of wanting God, you want these things more. And that's the big mistake. And that's why you need to be patient. So trust in God and be patient, because these things will not last. Like it says in the Psalm, I watched the wicked man towering like a cedar of Lebanon. I came back, he was nowhere to be found. Because things of this world will not last. Only God will last in his word, and will be united to him in heaven. So that's what you need to seek. So now let's get back. Patience as temperance in the day-to-day life. So this is something that is a constant thing in my life that keeps happening, and I'm so grateful for it because it's always an opportunity to grow in patience. And so it's such a gift. If you have, if you live with your family, like parents maybe, or brothers, or even if you're married and you have your wife and your children, or you're alone and you live by yourself in an apartment or whatever, but you go out in the world and go to school maybe, or work, and there are people that just you can't bear because they're so annoying or whatever. First of all, my family is not annoying, okay? Sometimes there are things that require more patience, but not to the point ever where I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I hate them. No. Maybe before Christ, before I found Christ, maybe that was the case, but now it's not, because the Spirit is in me, and through Him I can love. So I can truly love. So these opportunities throughout the day where, for example, I'm so focused on what I'm doing, I'm studying, I'm training and following my daily routine to the T every day so that I don't waste time. I'm not idle any time in the day. And so whenever I'm like between things, between tasks, maybe I go take a bathroom break, or go downstairs, take coffee, or prepare my food or whatever. Like in those times, I'm not in my room, I'm not in my cell. So in my room, it's more difficult to be disturbed because they know, my family knows that, okay, I'm studying, I'm focused, like it's not a good time to go talk to me. If they need to, they'll come and have no problem whatsoever. And they know it. But whenever I'm between tasks, that's when the opportunity to be patient happens. And it's very difficult. It's not easy because you're drained with all the work that you're doing, right? And constantly thinking about, okay, for example, I'm studying, I'm thinking about a problem that I've been doing. And so whenever I'm downstairs, even preparing my food, I'm thinking about that thing. And so someone like talks to me, it just breaks my focus bubble, let's say, and so it's an annoyance, okay? Or I want to maximize my productivity, and so most of the time when I go downstairs and prepare my food, for example, at 12 p.m., um, I'm alone in the kitchen because my dad is working. My brothers are out of the house. One is training, the other one maybe he's working. I don't know. My mom is at work, so I'm alone. So I can maybe listen to a podcast or something, catch on learning another thing that I want to learn. But out of out of a sudden, my dad goes upstairs and wants coffee. So he starts talking to me, but it wasn't like planned. Like at that time, I know nobody is gonna talk to me, but out of a sudden, he's there and he's talking to me, and so I stopped listening to what I was listening, and that can be annoying. That's an opportunity to be patient, and this is so difficult, especially this part that I'm going to tell you, to be patient, but be but with a smile. So not like this I struggle with a lot because I'm always like interiorly I just want to work on the things that I need to do, and maybe I can seem like not approachable, maybe, I don't know. I don't seem like I'm happy, or I don't know. But so to answer whatever he's telling me, or whatever question he asks me with a smile is the key to patience. So these opportunities are there all the time to be patient, because patience obtains all things. Okay? And a great tip that I could give you maybe is, our goal is to imitate Christ. He's our greatest example. Okay? And he led by example when he was here on earth. And do you think, like, for example, in my current situation where I'm cooking food, and then my dad comes and he tells me a silly joke or whatever, do you think, like, if Jesus was in my place, he would be like, not have a smile on his face, maybe be annoyed? Like, no, he wouldn't. He would be smiling and selfless. That's the key, selflessness. So it's not about me, it's about serving others. That's what we're meant to do as Christians, as Catholics, as imitators of Christ. He came into this world not to be served, but to serve. So whenever you have this like situation, just imagine, what would Jesus do right now, and do that thing. So that's it for the first aspect, the first side of patience, which is very important. Now, patience in God, patience in the promises he gave us, patience in him, hope in him. This is so important, and lately I've been learning so much about this. But there are so many things you can learn from Psalm 37. I 100% recommend. It's a long one, but very, very instructive. And so, yeah, like I said, whenever you enter the spiritual path to perfection, it's the most difficult thing you will ever do. And before entering it, the devil already controls you. Okay, so you're in a state of mortal sin. He already controls you. You know nothing about the spiritual path. Okay, so he already controls you. So you don't have any temptations. You don't have like lust temptations, for example, because you just give in immediately, because you don't know that it's a horrible thing to do. It's a sin, and it will lead you to hell. So, but once you gain the knowledge of that, gain the knowledge of salvation, the truth, which is the Word of God, which is Jesus. Jesus is the truth, the way, and forgot the other one. But once you know that, then the real spiritual battle begins, because now you have these two natures that are fighting against each other. So the good side and the bad side. But before that, the good side was dormant. because only the bad side was in, because you belong to the devil. So it becomes increasingly difficult to be patient in attaining heaven, where all of your worries, everything will be solved, all your longings of the heart will be resolved, because Christ is the deepest longing we have in our heart, and we will be with him forever. We'll be united with him forever. But here on earth, we don't have that yet. So it's so difficult. But what we have are immediate joys that we can get. And so it's so hard to say no to those things every day for the rest of your life, and say yes to this the greatest good, the greatest joy that we won't see on our life in this earth. So you will never see it in this earth, because it's with God in heaven. So that's what patient means. And so this psalm talks about not wanting what the wicked have, because it's an illusion. It's not real. It will perish. The wicked will perish. Even if you see like big successful men, big successful people in the world that have everything you could ever dream of. All the cars, all the houses, all the material things, all the pleasures you can imagine, vacations, traveling, like everything you can, like, could be considered an amazing life on earth. And you want those things, right? And then these people, maybe you listen to some podcasts about business or whatever, and they give you tips like, go all in, get rich or die trying, like nothing's more important. You need to say no to everything else, just say yes to money. Like, and you're tempted to follow this advice. But this advice will lead you out of the path, the narrow path, the path to Jesus, because it's not his way. Like, he doesn't want us to be worldly, to seek things of this world, to be attached. It's good to love things of the world, but not to be attached to them. And so you start following this path of this businessman, maybe at first not because, like, not as a non-Christian, so you just follow the tips, the financial tips, let's say. Then at some point, maybe like you start to have this doubt in your mind that the devil places, where, okay, he's not Christian, he's so happy, like maybe like Jesus doesn't even exist really. Maybe I'm just like what I see right now is what I believe, and I don't see Jesus, so maybe he doesn't exist, right? So you start to lose your faith, and you follow this worldly thing, thinking that what this man is telling you is the complete truth, and that he is so wise. And so you want these things that he has. And so you keep going, and then like you completely lose your faith because you want these earthly things, but you don't realize that that's the wicked path, and it will not last. And all you have to do is be patient, wait a little while longer, and all those lies will vanish, because only Jesus will last. Only Jesus will stand. But it's so difficult to do that because, like I said, you have these immediate joys that are right there that you can just go and take, especially with all the technology and all the future and all the things that we have in these modern times. It's so easy to just get them. If you have money, it's even easier. It's even harder. Jesus said, it will be harder for a rich man to get to heaven. It will be easier for a camel to go through a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. That's how difficult it is, because it is so easy to be, as a rich man, to be attached to this world, because you have everything right there. You can get everything you want, whenever you want. And so if you're not rooted in Christ and don't have virtue, like, you're basically lost. So that's pretty much it, the message I wanted to give. So 2 kinds of patience, daily patience, temperance. just loving and being patient, smiling with people around you, and the other patient, which is patience in our destiny, which is in heaven. God bless you. Take care. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, bro.